Hey, Dave Knight here again. I had a little mishap. I don't know if I'll be able to recover the first part of this video or not. So I saved it, but we'll see. Sometimes it's a corrupt file and it doesn't come over correctly. So anyway, if it doesn't, I'll redo my spreadsheet on another day and show you how I update it. If it doesn't, obviously disregard what I'm saying now. Anyway. So we are, the last thing I didn't do on the spreadsheet was, I have a little thing that I kind of forget, and it tells me where we're trading it currently, and right now, where are we trading it? We're trading pivot point to R1. So, let's escape. So that's just my own little information. Where are we trading? So this influences how I approach the markets, and it usually would be more effective if I was looking at both long and short. But now, since I'm going for the most part short only, and if you watched my video yesterday, you see my frustration on the last 8.5 months, roughly, trying to go. Well, it's been a lot longer than that, but let's just call it 8.5 months that I've been trying to resolve one side or the other, and I'm kind of at the conclusion that if I'm good at one side, I might as well just work with that one side. So that's my conclusion that I'm coming up to, and I'm going to stick to it at least for now and see how it works, because honestly the short side of the market falls a lot quicker with less opportunity for it to retrace back to original entry point on a good solid move. Where yesterday on 3 separate entries it went and hit my stop. So, and that to me is just the definition of insanity. Trying to figure out the same something that's just not making sense right now for me. Maybe there's, I saw one gentleman sent me a message about buying the high, selling the low, and stuff like that. So things that I'll have to look into. Um, there's things that I do differently as a positional and swing trader, and I'm not scared to take on a long side trade setup. I mean, honestly, if I'd known yesterday's pivot was going to be the point that we'd move above, and once we got there it wouldn't look back from there, then would I have traded above pivot? Definitely. I mean, but that's hindsight at that point. So the way that I would trade the short side has got to be, well, what I'm coming to the conclusion, the way, if I go back at the long side of the market, I've got to approach it completely and fundamentally different than the way that I approach the short side of the market, because the backfilling that's happening on that side of the market for me is making it a very nerve-wracking situation for me to be in, and I don't need that extra stress right now in my life. It's bad enough that I haven't been back to funded since, this is probably the longest stretch of my career at Top Step Trader that I haven't been back into funded. So last time in funded was April, and now we're at September. So this is the longest stretch that, well, I mean, I took the summer off last year, so I don't really, once I came back in October, I made it back in by November. So my goal is to make it in September, so in October I'm funded and I can use the momentum of the market from October, November into December to build up a good account balance, because I know that this is an optimum time to trade, to be able to trade into the fall season, and then taking a break in from January through May to early part of June. And then if I look at my where I want to be by June of next year, it's just, I want to have not only the account at Top Step Trader, but my own futures account as well. And that's going to require me to, frankly, stop doing things that are causing the pain and anguish right now, and being wise enough to walk away on a day that's not being cooperative on my way of approaching the market. So that's being smart enough to walk away, but before I reach plus 40 ticks. So there's going to be days it's going to get away from me. I mean, that's just nature of the beast. There's going to be days that no matter what I do, I'm going to be wrong, and the market, is going to go against it, and then it may or may not go the way that I originally thought it would go. So that's just the nature of trading. It doesn't. Some days just don't make sense, and if you sit back and try to nitpick every little thing, just got to give it the conclusion that I reached is giving it to the birds, right? There's certain things that you're not going to be smart enough to figure out. The market's going to not make sense on certain days, and instead of sitting back and trying to decipher and read the tea leaves of whatever that market was doing, just recognize that there's some days that physically don't make any sense in the way that you look at now. They might make sense in the future for you, but at that point in time, it doesn't. And you've got to be able to let it go and wait for another trading day to come along that hopefully will be more beneficial. And markets move in rhythm too, and it also moves in stages. I mean, you have especially the crude oil market as an overall. It runs in swings. It'll swing up for a while, then it'll swing down for a while, then it'll swing up, then it'll swing down. And sometimes the swing up is a lot longer, and sometimes the swing down is a lot longer, but it runs in the swing. So right now, the swing that we're in is an upswing. So we're in a swing that's moved up, but is it done going up here? Is it ready to come back down? Who knows? We'll find out. All right, that's the talk that I want to go into right now. We're waiting on the inventories today, and let's pull out. So I'm waiting on inventory report today. Where is it? There it is. Coming out at 9:30 a.m. CST, so we're it's 9 a.m. my time. We're about an hour and a half away from that report, right? This would be 10:30 my time, 9. Yeah, so we're an hour and a half away from that report. We're at the open outcry open right now of the market. We have this volume bar. It might be worthy to take a trade on here. Try and see if we could run a 1P move to start with, using this high volume bar, that we might come down, at least temporarily, come down for a bit. Alright, so I'm pausing here. We'll see what's going to happen. Okay, we're making new highs right now. We're going to remove that short side trade. We went higher by 2 ticks. So far we went from 70.14 to 70.16 to 70.18. We'll take one shot at a fake out here. We'll use the high of the market. Higher by 1 tick again. We're moving 70.14 now to 70.21. 70.16 last high to 70.21. We went 70.16, 70.18, 70.21. 70.16, be risking about 6 ticks here. The 70.23 will do it only one time. $70.19, 6,997 is 1p down. So basically, I'm looking for the market to run back to $70 a barrel. This doesn't work out, we're going to stand aside, wait for the inventory report. We'll risk 7 ticks. Force the market 8 ticks. Don't really want to risk 8 though. Nine ticks is 1/2 R. We'll see what happens once we get to 24. We'll risk a 1/2 R stop. 9 ticks. If we get down below 70.19, I'll be going for break even. All right, pausing. Didn't want to lose any more on that trade. So this is a market looking for something.
It's searching for more stops, it looks like to me. Until it finds it, it's probably going up for a while. So previous high, we can say was 70 right here. So 70.14 to 70.16, and now 70.30, 70.31. And R1's still a long way away. It's at 70.79, but that can be hit fairly quickly. Here's interesting. We made it to the Gann 45-degree angle at 70.31. Might be worthy of one more shot here. Let's see if we can at least get back. A little bit of our loss here. So 1.5p move is 33. $70.31 high. I'm looking for 6.998. Looking for 6.999. Even 70.001, somewhere in that area. One P down move from 70.31, the high is 70.009. If it does want to reach down a 3P move, let's go ahead and move for that. Be 69.65 based upon this market. I'll call it 69, 69.69 if it wants to reach. That's in front of the low. Let's go ahead and make sure that we win this trade. I want to see a quick moving down market. All that for 10, just a little bit of a gain. I'd have been able to hold that if I would have won the first one. I mean, this is a market that could go back to the highs, though. This might be just a temporary move down, and then we're going higher. So therefore, it was, for me, it was just no more than a break-even trade. Maybe could get 2 or 3 ticks out of that one. I wanted to see it fall quickly, at least get down to the 200 bar line, get underneath it. If it was strong on the short side, that's what I wanted to see, a fall down in this area. And it could go down and make me look like an idiot though. But the first trade being a loser kind of influenced the way I wanted to trade the second one. All right, so I'm going to pause here and wait for the inventory number now. I'm done until inventories come out. Be back in a bit. And in fact, what you're going to see me do here is what I should have done on the other days, so I don't worry about it, is this. Don't worry about the small stuff, right? Know the inventory report's coming out. Be patient and wait for it. Be back in a bit.
Alright, so I'm back. Getting ready, getting set. Looks like a wise decision to get out of the trade. So we're waiting for the inventory number to come out now. Inventories will come out at 9:30 Central, Chicago time. We are going to set up for 7p target, what I normally do, and I'm going to start with an 18. I don't know if I want to go 18. I don't mind doing 12, but 18 is kind of out there. 154 is 7p right now, so that's what I'm setting up for. That gets the profit objective far enough away that it doesn't be out of the way. Alright, so that's it for now. I'll be back when, let's see here, we're about 14 minutes away from the report. Be back in a couple minutes. Alright, so this is the hourly chart, and this is the last high that we were up at the 71 level. And I believe will be the fourth time that we come up to that, but let's double check. Let's move to the dailies. 1, 2, 3. So this could be the fourth time up to this level around the R1. And so we come off of the lows down here. And we're attempting to run up through the R1 line now. And then we have R2. So just to see what the market's saying right now on the extension. We're right at the 50% extension mark right now. 100% could bring it to 73.75. That'd be a big move. 71.12 is definitely doable. Reaching up to R2 is definitely doable right now. And if we're looking at the other side, that's asking a lot of the market to get way down here. Much easier to reach to 73.75. 50% going down is 65.98 now. We're in a tiger by the tail scenario now. The market looks very strong. Let's hold that onto the charts for now. So that's the new high right up there where we're trading 70.43. 200 bar way down here, so we probably run through all the 200 bars. 15-minute way back down here. And the 5 minutes, it's 69.90. Hold on, I'll just move that over. Here's the 5-minute chart down here at 69.90. $70.50 high now, 51. Probably going to have to see at least volume of a 5,000 at something to stop this ascension move. 70.52 new high. Might be one of those days you stay away from right now. Alright, so I'm going to pause at this point. What are we at now? We are still 6 minutes from the release. I'll be back in a few. Alright, so plugged in the low. Right now the low is 69.50, and we've been to 70.52 since the market opened up. So 69.50 was run when? So about 4:30 in the morning we were at 69.50, and now we're up here at 70.52. So we're up $1 from the low right now. As far as movement related today, that puts it almost a 5p move. 110 ticks would be 70.60. And you can see 72.14, and that's plug in. Of course this can change, but if we would come down, 67.88 right now. Alright, so closing in. 2 minutes away. 1 minute away now. We'll just hold and see what happens. Let's get our have to wait a minute normally. Red bar. Highest volume bar is 23.55 in red. Negative 5.3 million. Expecting negative 1.3, missed it by 4 million. Alright, so let's plug. This one looks like an easier long than most of them. 70-40. Bunch of blues coming through here. Look at that, all the way back to it. $70.36 to short. Removing. So this is what's so tough about being long. If we went long at 70.40, the market went 70.70, 22, so it went up 29 ticks, right? And then it comes all the way back down to 70.38. So that is the dilemma for me being long. And I have to wait a minute to get in. So the best possible entry that I could have been at, absolute best, would have been this low here, 70.32. That would have been absolute best. Most likely though, 70.40 is it's the best spot that I would have been able to get involved in it. And then it comes down here, goes up at least a 1p move, comes back down to the break even, and then goes 3 ticks. Well, two ticks lower than our break even at 70.40, and then it's doing what it's doing now. I don't think we're done going up yet, so I want to see more volume on the blue side. We've moved, let's measure, it's this bar right here. This is the buy above line here. There's your sell below line. $70.75 new high. $70.80 up to R1. As far as volume bars today, since we're looking at short only here, I would have been long, most likely would have been stopped out at break even on that trade. is it definitely went 22 plus ticks on that move up from 70.40 to 70.70. That's 30 ticks, and 22 would have been a 1p move. So I would have been at break even, and it would have run me out, and I don't know if I'd have been Johnny on the spot to get back in. So that's why, for me personally, it's really hard to be long. As far as volume goes, volume is red. It's high volume bars on the red side. So I want to stay away from this rising market. This is a market that is very dangerous to be short. I would prefer to see a volume figure that's greater than the red side. So what I'm going to do here is, if we break this high, we're going to see what's up there to start with. I mean, the reverse of falling knife is this right here. This is a market that is very strong right now on the upside. I mean, it could dipsy-do again, maybe come back down into this level and then go straight up to 71. I think we've looked at the levels that the market's trying to get to, right? Let's go back here to that hourly chart, because I think this is in play right now. We have our Gann number of 7117. We have our Fibonacci of 7112. I honestly believe it's going to at least here, 7112. $72.14 would be a 12p up move today. That would, from high to low, that would run 264 ticks if it would go that high. 70.90 high. Still really haven't seen blues to offset anything yet. So previous high is 70.80. Now we're at 70.90. 70.91. Market that's definitely heading for 7,100. Every time I say definitely, though, it does its own little thing. So now what we've got, RBV is the highest volume bar, coming in at 23.55 off the report, 9:30 a.m. And the highest blue bar volume that we have on the charts came in at 7:43 at 15:13. So that's what we have right now. At this point, it's just stop running. 70.97 high. It's okay, you know, I've made up the determination I'll basically want to be a short-only trader. So staying away from markets that don't make sense. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to pause at this point, and if I see something I want to do, I'll let you know. I guess now I'm thinking about it. What am I looking for? I'm looking for blow-off volumes, what I'm basically hunting for. Let me get my screen draw tool. So I want to see the market, ideally I want to see the market head up to a certain level. I don't know what that level is, that's the question mark. But what I want to see is volume that's really, really big. And I'm talking about 3 to 5K. So some real volume getting unloaded up there. And if we see something like that, so it's way up here, then maybe we'll have a reversal at least to get some movement on the backside. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to pause here, and I'll be back if we see something that's worthy of talking about. Alright, so the way that I used to look, I'm still looking at the red side, so maybe in a movement that's has decidedly moved your direction. This was a long entry that I would have been considering before. 70.69. And I'd want a 70.91 move for 1p to get to break even. One tick away, that would be good enough for me to be at break even. So let's call it 70.71 now. Alright, pausing here, see what we do. 70.40 would have been the original entry point. So 70.40, if we'd have been lucky enough to stay in this, a 3p move would be 71.06. So let's mark the chart. 71.06 would be a 3p up move. So that would be the only other thing I could say that we could do, is you just, in this trade with a long, you don't move your stop, period. So this would be the 70.40 area. And 70.40, 84 would have been a 2p move. Ran that originally right here. And you come back to it here. So the question is 2p enough on a fast moving market to be able to hold a break-even trade? That might be what you have to do. Or we use, I've seen this before, where the levels coming back. This could be, you don't want it below 70.20, and it didn't go to 70.35. I don't know. More research needs to be done. Pausing. Alright, so this is a market searching for something. Whatever that something is, we hit 7,100 there. So it's searching for some orders, it looks like to me. Let's not forget that the GAN signal is 71.17 today. Pretty close to it. I highly doubt 7,100 is going to stop the market on the up move. I'm waiting for high blue bar volume is what I'm pretty much waiting on right now. I don't want to try to catch this unless I see it. I'm looking to see what, if we move up to 71.17, what's there. I want to see some stop running is what I want to see. This just looks like a market that has to go lower to go higher sometimes, so I don't see anything that's telling me that this is done. It might just rest here too, in between R1 and R2. What kind of stuff is on the economic report, economic front? What else is left today? Bond auction, beige book. That's about it. That's all that's left in the U.S. market. So let's see here, we've been negative inventories for the last 4 weeks. Last positive was back from August 15th. All right, once we bust through that 7,100 level, I don't like it until I see high blue bar volume. And if it goes without me, then so be it. Okay, we got it. There's the GAN number run, 71.17. Don't want to run into this yet though. I want to blew through there finally. The 3P move was finally hit if you could have held on to it long enough. If you just keep the break even, don't move your stop. So today 12 ticks, what did I say, 70.40 would have been a 70.22 stop. Let's go back and look. So 70.22 would have been down here, and that was never run. So it did go 3P. That might be the only way to hold along, but I don't. That has to be at certain points in time, though. Highest volume bar is red now, 3221. Short at 7111. Looking for a 3P retracement trade. Let's plug in the low again, 69.50, and we've been to 71.25. We've been up 8P today. Means that we could go down 4.88. Coming in at 10.12. Alright, so 71.11. 70.89 would be a 1P down move. This is the first high volume bar that I would be willing to trade right now. So looking for a downward movement to get at least down to 1P to be 70.89, and then it would go to break even. And if it comes back and takes out, I'm going to be done for the day. In fact, going down on this trade, if it takes me in and out, I'm going to have to keep looking for higher volume to get involved in it. One short trade per bar entry. Higher by one tick there, 71.26. So we went from 7100 to 71.26 right now. Holding. Not in. That retracement went back to, what did it go back to? 71.12. Let's move to 71.10. Let's error to that side right now. 71.10 to be short. And obviously if it busts out up here, then we'll remove the short side trade and wait. So this bar right here is highest volume bar on the blue side. Could just be stop running, and we're going to go higher though. So 71.10 entry, 1P move down is 70.88. We're in. Let's use the high. 18 ticks, went down 1. This is the toughest part of a trade right now. I mean, for the life of me, I want to hit flatten and get out. But it could head down, but it could obviously go up. I got to believe highest volume bar is in. There's 2, 3, 5. Trying to trail behind it. 2 more. Alright, right there, that's good enough for me to be at break even here. Either it's going to go or it's not. Looking at that 66 ticks, actually looking for anywhere between 70.44 to 70.22. We'll take whatever the market gives us here. I don't know what's going to happen here. 70.88 is 1p. We made 1p. We'll go ahead and lock in 3. A 2p down move is 66. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and lock in 1p right now. We'll go 91. Let's call it 93. I'm using the yellow line right now. Alright, just in case the market wants to run below the $70 handle or close to it, we actually have a target of 70 at 5p right now. So that'll be our target. That's what we're hunting for. 70.01. Of course, we'll take a lot less than that, but hey, why not dream a little bit? We made it down to almost 2p there. 70.66 is 2. And I don't want to take a loss on this, so I'm okay with getting out here and calling it a day. I'm out. Honestly, that could be the best this market gives us today. The last down move went down 2p from high. So if we plug in 71.26, the last downward move went down 2p before recovering. 70.82. This one ended up going down almost 3 to 70.60. Went 70.67. The only way I would have held on to this is maybe up here. I've been brave enough to trade 2 contracts on that entry point. If I was brave enough to trade 2 on that entry point, I'd look back at this, 70.67. I come here, 71.05, and I'd be around 71.15. I wouldn't want to be on the 1.5, so I would err to 1.6. So I would have taken out most likely 1, and then, so if this way that I would have went at it, been 18 here, and it looks like if it would take me out at 71.16, it would be -6 on that side. It'd be a +12 trade on 2. Anyway, as you can tell, this is the kind of movement that I like a lot better than the long side of the market. This is more predictable for me. I can move to break even. I can move and collect some profit on these downward moves, where this up move would have caught me in the beginning, and I'd have to at least hold a 2p today. That'd be holding 44 ticks before I move to break even, and that's asking a lot of a market that's going up. What's raining again? Gosh, we can't get away from the rain up here. And then the hurricane's coming in. We're not in the direct path of it up here in western Pennsylvania, but we're supposed to have rain from it coming this weekend. All right, so giving the market whatever on the long side, that's the trade-off now, for me at least. And taking whatever the market gives me on my short side trades, I believe that I can get to the 32K mark and move on. And more importantly, I can stay unfunded, because I'll be able to use a break-even type of entry point. And when this day, I was quite happy just being at +1 today. So on this last trade was +17. And I'm quite happy with that, because I believe that the market wanted to head down, it wouldn't have stopped at that level. And all I believe right now that the market's doing is selling off a little bit to go higher. So I don't really believe that the 71.26 is the high of the market right now. I believe we're heading to at least 71.66, in my humble opinion. So the question is, would I risk 71.16 now, or just be at break even? Most likely I would take a break even exit on anything that I had left. I wouldn't be willing to take a risk and take a loss on a trade that I won. So even a 1-tick winner at 71.09 on a second contract is pretty much the only way. And I'm not willing to hold one for this kind of move. I'm not willing to hold one contract and get 1 tick out of a trade. Just not going to. I'm not going to do it. I'd rather just take what the market gives me at that point and look for another entry point if I wanted to get involved in it. Today I don't. Today I just want to take the sanity that I have left in my head and move to another trading day and use my short side ability to win more than I lose. Like I talked about yesterday, the market's got to beat me 5 days in a row if I hold to a 30-tick stop loss. And frankly, that's asking a lot of the market to beat me. I don't normally get beat 5 days in a row. I mean, I might get beat 3. Sometimes I get beat 4. Other days I get beat 2. I get beat 1 occasionally. But hopefully, as an overall, just trading on the short side of the market, I'll keep building the account up. And maybe in the process of just trading short, I'll learn how to trade on the long side. And I'm talking about crude oil market. This is it. This is what I do. I don't know any of the other markets, and frankly, I don't want to learn anything right now on another market. This is the market that I understand the best after, frankly, frankly trading it for the last 10 years of my life. I would say since I'm probably 11 now, 40. Ugh, getting old. 51 I turned this year, and I'm still learning. And some people, I didn't look at any of my comments from my I'll get you, my little dear, and your doggy too. I didn't look at that yet, but I'll make a video today, hook up to this one. I want to pause at this point. We'll wrap up in a few minutes. I'm done. All right, so trailing with two contracts, one contract trailing 70.64 right now. 10 ticks from 85.84 is 70.94 right now. So I figured I'd let you know I'm trailing along here, debating about, future. Once I do get enough of a base, how I would approach getting that second contract on. No, my first contract, I'm happy with my stop. I mean, it went a certain distance my way, and I won a winning day on day one. And now I'm not worrying about the side that kicks my ass all the time. So that's the bonus and like I said, if the market can beat me 5 days in a row and I can't grind out a day or two every so often and get a positive performance to offset the losses, then so be it. Then we'll I don't know, maybe I'll just go back to full-time insurance at that point. Probably what I'll be doing. Except I think I want to go after the annuity side of the business next time around. That I don't really want. I've been still doing seminar scene, but unfortunately dealing with it's a sad type of thing. People that don't have nothing and just getting enough for burial insurance. Not my cup of tea. I want to get out of that. It looked fun to start with when I first got in because of the commission side of the business. But most of these people that you meet don't have two pennies to rub together, and you have a hard time keeping your business on the books. That's the part that you don't hear about when you're doing the insurance on the people that are on the low income side. And nothing against them. I feel them. I know exactly what it's like. If it comes down to putting food on the table or paying a bill, I'm gonna put food on the table for my family. I'm not gonna worry about some thing that's gonna happen in the future. I'll let the government and take care of me. So that's about it. Anyway, I'm trailing behind it. My first contract would be out. So this is just the tortoise side of the trade that I talk about. I'm still debating about how I would handle the tortoise side. We actually went to 70.63 right there. Let's measure that bar. 78, yeah. So 70.94 is the exit point right now. Once it hits it, I'll be back and we'll talk about what that tortoise side was able to get. Talk to you in a bit. All right, I thought I'd come on here. A 3P down move from the high, 71.26, will be 70.60. We've run that. So we've run a 3P down from the high. And a 4P move is 70.38. And we've been from 69.50 we went an 8p move to 71.26. This is probably about somewhere around here, is probably about as far as the market's going to go, in my humble opinion. So let's see how it works out. Looking at this low against here, 77 would make 87. So what you have to ask yourself is a stop of 87 worth, or should you be getting out at 70.60 right in this area? If I was one contract trading and still been fortunate enough to stay in, this would have been my exit point. I would have looked at 70.60 to 77, 70.71. That's where I'd be finding value. So on one contract, if I would have been fortunate enough to stay in this one. Pausing.
Okay, right here we're at a 4p move down. And let me unlock the chart because we're coming to the area that we before were. This is the buy area, this is the sell area. So I'm expecting it to rebound and bounce somewhere between here to here. Be interesting to see what happens. Trailing behind this on the tortoise side of the trade, it's 78 now. I'm expecting a bounce here, a violent bounce anytime now. I'll be back.
Okay, so this is a 4p move down from the high, 70.38, right in front of the 70.35. This is some really good places to be exiting on the short side of this trade. Either at 70.38 or 70.60. That would be some really, really good exit points. And not worrying about the trailing side, because we went up 8 and we went down 4. So that, if I would have been lucky enough to stay in this trade, that would have been my exit point right here. Definitely, I would have exited. This would have been the end of this trade right here. It would have been worth 88 ticks from the 71.26, but from my entry point at 71.10 minus 70.38, it would have been worth 72 ticks. That would have been where I would have. This is half the move of the up from the range of 69.50. And we went up to 71.26. So where am I pulling my numbers? Well, I'm just looking at ranges right now. So we went up to the high. Look over here, 70. Let me get my screen draw tool. So here is what we did. We've been up 176 ticks from the low of 69.50. And then half of the move down is 4. 70.38. So from the high coming down, this would have been an excellent exit. Personally, this is where, if I'd have been lucky enough to stay in it, this is where I'd be done. This trade is done. Put a fork in it, and pop the balloon. I'd be done on the day right now. And even the trailer, I'd be getting out. So I'm going to stop this video here. This is where this video ends, and I move on to the next trading day. Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. See you in the next video I put together. Bye for now. Oh, by the way, I might not be able to get the first part of the video to load correctly. I'll have to just try it again another day. Bye for now.